All right, imagine this. You sit down to study. Laptop open, book open, pen in hand. You're ready. 5 minutes later, you're deep into a YouTube video titled, How a Guy Made $3 Million Drop Shipping at 19. You don't even remember clicking it. Your brain just wandered off, and now you're staring at the screen thinking, okay, I'll start after this video. That's not laziness. That's your brain running a silent side quest without your permission. We never talk about how studying doesn't fail because we're dumb. It fails because our brain is wildly efficient, just not in the way school expects. Your brain is built to conserve energy, avoid pain, and chase novelty. Studying feels like effort, uncertainty, and delayed reward. TikTok feels like dopamine on demand. So your brain votes, and studying loses the election every single time. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't study slowly because the material is hard. They study slowly because they're studying in a way that fights their brain. Reading the same page 5 times. Highlighting everything like it's a crime scene. Rewriting notes you'll never read again. It feels productive, but psychologically, it's busy work. Your brain loves it because it feels safe. No pressure. No risk of being wrong. No real thinking. Psychology calls this the illusion of competence. When information feels familiar, your brain assumes you understand it. You don't. You've just seen it before. That's why you can read a chapter and feel confident, until someone asks you a basic question and your mind goes completely blank. Familiarity is not mastery. It's just recognition wearing a fake mustache. Fast learners do something that looks illegal. They make learning feel slightly uncomfortable on purpose. They test themselves early, before they feel ready. They try to explain concepts out loud while sounding stupid. They close the book and ask, what do I actually remember? And yes, it feels worse. But your brain pays attention when it struggles. Struggle is the signal for growth. Comfort is the signal for boredom. Think about how you remember song lyrics you never studied, or movie quotes you can recite perfectly. Nobody set you down with flashcards. You remembered them because they were repeated, emotional, and used in context. Your brain is amazing at remembering things that matter. So the real cheat code isn't studying harder. It's making the material feel like it matters. That's why explaining a topic like you're teaching a friend works ridiculously well. The moment you try to teach, your brain panics and goes, wait, do we actually know this? Gaps appear instantly. That's not failure. That's clarity. You just found exactly what to study next instead of wasting hours reviewing what you already know. Another uncomfortable observation. Most people study as if time is unlimited. They sit down with no urgency, no deadline pressure, no structure. The brain responds by dragging its feet. But give yourself a tight window, like 25 focused minutes, and suddenly your brain sharpens up. Parkinson's law kicks in. Work expands to fill the time you give it. Short time forces focus. Long time invites distraction. And distractions aren't a discipline problem. They're a design problem. If your phone is next to you, your brain is half listening to it the entire time. Not because you're weak, because your brain evolved to monitor potential rewards and threats. A buzzing phone is a potential reward. Of course it steals attention. Remove the trigger, and focus magically improves. No motivation speech required. Here's the part that feels like cheating. The fastest way to study is to study less, but with intention. Fewer hours, more retrieval, more explaining, more testing, less rereading, less highlighting, less pretending. When you stop trying to look productive and start trying to be effective, everything speeds up. Watch people who say, I studied for 3 hours. That tells you nothing. Ask instead, how many times did you try to recall the information without looking? That's the real metric. Recall builds memory. Recognition builds confidence without results. At some point, you realize something wild. The people who seem naturally smart aren't absorbing more information. They're just wasting less time. They fail faster. They notice confusion earlier. They adjust sooner. Intelligence isn't magic. It's feedback speed. And the funny thing is, once studying starts working, motivation shows up late like, oh, this is actually going well. Progress creates motivation, not the other way around. The brain loves winning. Show it small wins, and it cooperates. So if studying feels slow, painful, and endless, it's not because you're bad at learning. It's because you were never taught how your brain actually works. Study with struggle. Study with recall. Study like you're slightly under pressure. Make it active. Make it real. And suddenly, learning gets so fast it feels like cheating. The quiet realization is this: studying was never supposed to feel easy. It was supposed to feel effective. And once you stop confusing comfort with progress, everything changes. Join thousands learning how their brain really works. Subscribe and share this.